What's going on, guys? It's Nick here, back with another fantasy football video. Today, top 5 players to avoid in your fantasy football drafts. These are guys that I don't think I've drafted in a single mock draft. Let's get into it. At number 1 with Leonard Fournette. And it's not that I hate the player, right? Because he's a great player. And it's not that I hate the situation that much. Because honestly, I think he's just going to be fed the ball. It's more his ADP. 20th overall. Running back 11, it's basically the same spot whether you're in standard, whether you're in PPR scoring, basically around the same area. And it's the late second round. And at that point, I just think that the risk combined with it being such a high draft capital pick, it's just not a pick for me. Because he's had troubles with ankle injuries in college. And now he's suffered another foot injury. They've said that it's minor, but it just shows you that he's had foot and ankle injuries and he's already having them at the pro level. And running backs get injured a lot. So you're going to spend a late second round pick on the running back on a team that likes to pass the ball when they get close. Maybe that changes with Fournette. But honestly, when I watched his tape for college, he's dominant. He's definitely dominant. But there are points where if there's no hole, he kind of pulls and I'm not comparing to Trent Richardson, but he pulls a Trent Richardson. He just kind of runs into his line. He doesn't do that much. And obviously, that's tape, and that's the visual aspect of the game that you can't quantify. But when I look at him, I see a guy that if the hole's not there, he doesn't do a whole lot with it. And I don't think the holes are going to be there a ton. At least last year, the Jags' offensive line was terrible. They improved a little bit, but it's not going to be that good. They're going to be below average offensive line. And when Bortles is so bad that they're going to have a lot of 3 and outs and they're going to have a lot of negative game scripts for running back position, I don't see myself investing a second round pick in a player like that. Could he finish as an RB1? Definitely. But he needs to at this draft position. So even if he finishes running back 8, you didn't even get a ton of value from this pick. So could he return value? Yes, but I think that his ceiling is returning value. Whereas I find other players going after him that have just as high of a ceiling, but I'm so much more confident in their floor. So for me, it's a no from Fournette. I'm fine if you take him early 3rd, but he's honestly not going there. So don't draft him. Next guy I want to talk about really does pain me, and that's Julian Edelman. You guys know I'm a Patriots fan. But the early 5th round, this is PPR numbers. In standard, he's going a little bit later, but I just can't see myself drafting him in standard at all. But early 5th round, wide receiver 26. It's just where do you see him having seasons like the past? Last season isn't going to happen for Julian Edelman. And Gronk's back, at least for now, but we have to assume that he's healthy because remember, we don't predict injuries here. You have Gronk. You've got Brandon Cooks that got brought in. You've got Mitchell that's developing. You've already got Hogan on the outside, and I think that Mitchell takes a little bit more away from Hogan this season if he can stay healthy. But you've got Amendola playing the slot a little bit. You've got Allen, who was brought in. You've got James White and Deion Lewis catching passes. I think it's more White than Lewis. But you have all these players, and unless you project Brady to throw for 6,000 yards and 70 touchdowns, then Julian Edelman isn't worth an early 3rd round pick, even in PPR. And he's been declining over the past 2 seasons. Whether you look at the numbers or not, maybe the end of season numbers for fantasy and looking at it, looking at the 97 receptions for 1,000 yards and whatever touchdowns, yeah, those look good. But when you look at his 61% catch rate, which is 49th in the league, his 5% drop rate, 41st in the league, 1.44 fantasy points per target, 80th in the league, negative 19.5 production premium, 94th in the league. All of those from playerprofiler.com, which shows he hasn't been productive. Even watch, I know a lot of you watched the Super Bowl. Did he look good in the Super Bowl? And I know he had a good corner on him. And I was pretty sure he was going to have a bad game. But he didn't look good in the Super Bowl from those of you who watched those games. And I watch all the Patriots games. He has taken a step back. And he's injury prone. Let's just throw that on top of it. Wide receiver isn't an injury prone position, but he's injury prone. And then I think the biggest part is you look at the people who are being drafted after him. Larry Fitzgerald Willie Snead, Stephon Diggs, Jamison Crowder, Emmanuel Sanders. None of them should be going after Julian Edelman. No way in the world can Emmanuel Sanders, Willie Snead, and Larry Fitzgerald go after him. You can make an argument for Diggs and Crowder. But there's no way in the world Larry, Emmanuel, and Willie should be going after Julian Edelman in any format. No way in the world should that be happening, but it is. So, obviously, if I can find a list of 5 guys that I believe should not be going after him that are, then obviously I'm never going to have Julian Edelman on a team. Because really it only takes like 1. But that's what you got to do. You got to look for players you don't really like, then look around after that and say, oh, I like these guys better. Well, then just take those guys when it's Julian Edelman's turn. Don't take Julian Edelman. So he won't be on any of my teams. The upside isn't there to cover the risk, and I just don't like drafting players like that. So let's move on to the next one. And we've covered a running back. We've covered a wide receiver. Let's cover a tight end. And it's Jordan Reed. Now, the community has fallen off a little bit on Jordan Reed, but that was because he hadn't practiced yet. As of recording this, I believe he's got the new cleat and he's going to practice. I'm really actually not sure if he has practiced yet, but it's not that he's out with an injury. He's just been seeing a specialist about preventing an injury, I guess. But I really don't care that much that he's not hurt right now, because he will be. As soon as he steps on the field, this guy just gets hurt. I understand the upside. I mean, if he plays all 16 games fully healthy, this guy's a championship winner. But he's going in the 5th round as tight end 4, and that's basically as low as I can see him going. If he catches a touchdown in the preseason, or puts together some monster practices, shows some highlights in preseason games, he's going to go in the 3rd or 4th round again. It's just that people are scared off because of the potential injury. So let's just talk about the past few seasons that he's put together. I'll pull up the sportsinjurypredictor.com. Just type in anyone's name, gives you the injury history. September 2011, hamstring pull. October, concussion. Moved to September of 2012, another concussion. September of 2013, quad contusion. November of 2013, yet another concussion. August of 2014, dislocated thumb. September of 2014, hamstring pull. November of 2014, yet another hamstring pull. Let's go a little bit further, shall we? Off season, in May 2015, surgical procedure done in his knee. August 2015, another hamstring injury. September 2015, well, now he's got another thigh bruise. October 2015, concussion. November 2015, MCL sprain. October 2016, concussion. November 2016, AC joint dislocation. Like, seriously? This guy just gets hurt every single play. No one has a 89.2% chance of being injured with a projection of 7 games missed. No one but this kid. Needs special orthotics now for his cleat because of a lingering toe injury. No, thank you. He will be on exactly 0 of my teams. Not to mention the fact that I don't think you should be taking tight ends early anyways. Sure, you can take Kelsey in like the late 3rd, early 4th round. Gronk's a pretty good value in the 3rd round if he can stay healthy. But this guy's gonna get hurt. And he's 1 concussion away from potential retirement. So I don't believe in taking tight ends early. And this is a super risky one. No, thank you. I mean, the other guys that I'm targeting the 5th round, Spencer Ware, a little bit more than I have in previous weeks. Larry Fitz, Willie Snead, you guys have heard me say before, I'm targeting them. Golden Tate, I'm like holding back a little bit. I wanted to bring him up just because we need to watch Galladay in this preseason. If this kid keeps producing like they've said he has in camp and like he did in the first preseason game, then I'm going to temper expectations for Golden Tate. But I'd still take Golden Tate over Jordan Reed. I understand the upside. Believe me, I understand that he's got league-winning upside, but it's honestly, it just feels like a throwaway pick because there's no way he stays healthy. So I will be avoiding him in every draft. I believe you guys should do so as well. Let's move on to another running back, also going in the 5th round. That's my boy LeGarrette Blount. Now, if you followed this channel for a few months, I guess, then you guys know that I've never drafted LeGarrette Blount. I think he's a horrible running back. I mean, just the speed in which he operates is just, it's so slow. I mean, he literally looks like someone put him in quicksand and then chained his ankles together. That's how slow he is. And yet, for some reason, the Patriots would run him outside too. And I watched just a couple highlights from tonight. I'm recording this Thursday night. That's the preseason game for the Eagles. They're running him outside. Like, what are they doing? And he looks slow. Again, like, obvious. He's a slow player. So I don't care that they're projected the #1 offensive line. I will have 0 shares of LeGarrette Blount. I mean, I just don't think he's a good player. And I don't like drafting players I think are terrible in the 5th round as RB24. Like, everyone's like, oh, he's great in short yardage. And the Eagles, I mean, they only use 1 running back in short yardage. Was he that great in short yardage? I understand he got 18 touchdowns, but that's because he was given 24 carries from inside the 3. He only got 12 touchdowns out of those, which wasn't even that great of a rate. On 3rd and short or 4th and short, his conversion rate was 27th out of 49. Gillislee and Burkhead are his replacements. Both were better. So, he's not that good. It's just that by far he was given the most opportunity because he's playing for Tom Brady and the Patriots. And you got to respect Tom Brady when you got all these weapons around him. And he's Tom Brady. So obviously, people can't stack the box against him. And you've always got to be wary of Tom throwing the ball from inside the 3, so you can't sell out to stop the run. That's not going to happen on the Eagles. I understand they have a good old line, but the Patriots were top 10 last season as well. So it's not like the Patriots were some scrub offensive line. He gets his yardage because of the quarterback play and that teams can't stack the box. Carson Wentz is not Tom Brady. And if Alshon goes down, oh my God. If Alshon goes down and they have no Jordan Matthews and they have Nelson Aguilar, like, are you kidding me? No, this team is much improved, but LeGarrette Blount is not the answer. LeGarrette Blount is not good. So don't take him in the 5th round is standard. I think it's like the early 6th round in PPR. There is no way you can take him in PPR scoring in the early 6th round. There's no way. And then you say, well, who are you taking? You guys know Mark Ingram is going after LeGarrette Blount? What? How is Mark Ingram going after LeGarrette Blount? He made the predicting a top 5 running back video for a reason. If AP goes down, Ingram's a monster. And even if AP doesn't go down, I still think that Mark Ingram is a far superior pick to LeGarrette Blount. Tevin Coleman, what if Freeman goes down? Coleman's a great pick now. But even if he doesn't, Coleman can be sustained in that offense. He's better than LeGarrette Blount as a pick. I would even take Danny Woodhead or Terrence West, either or, in standard scoring over LeGarrette Blount. Woodhead's going to get his touchdowns. He's going to be using the offense that's going to throw the ball more than any other team in the league. Yeah, I'm going to take the 3rd down back on that team. Terrence West, well, in standard scoring, I'd take him over Blount too. Like, Blount is not a good pick. These guys are much better picks going after him. Some of them going rounds after him. But I think the biggest one was Mark Ingram. I could not believe. Even on Fantasy Football Calculator, Mark Ingram is going after LeGarrette Blount. That just baffles me. Maybe it's different on other sites. I don't know. But, wow. Even if it's remotely close, that shouldn't be happening. But don't draft LeGarrette Blount. I'll stop trashing him right now. But don't draft yourself any LeGarrette Blount. Next. By no means should you have any Eddie Lacy this season. By no means. With Procise around, he's never going to catch a bunch of passes. And now there's reports Rawls is running with the ones. He opened as the featured back in the first preseason game. And, like, people, they hear the reports that, oh, he's making weight, yay. Just because he isn't fat doesn't mean that the job is his. He actually has to be a good running back. And let's just assume it is. Let's assume Rawls gets hurt. Now Lacy's the one, 1st and 2nd down, Procise is on 3rd downs. Is he even still a good pick in the 6th round, even assuming Rawls is out? No, he's still not, because it's the worst offensive line in football. Why would you want the #1, even if he is the clear #1 on 1st and 2nd downs, behind the worst offensive line in football? You don't want that on your team. Pick someone else. But he's not the 1. He's the 2. And he's the 2 who isn't going to catch. I'm not going to say he can't catch, because he can. But he's not going to with Procise around. They're going to use Procise. Procise is probably going to steal first and second down duties sometimes anyways. So why would I want in the 6th round, even the 7th, or even the 8th round? I don't want a guy like Lacey, who's not going to catch many passes and is part of a committee on a terrible offensive line. Why would you ever want that person on your team? So don't draft any Eddie Lacy. Some of you have posted lineups and you've got Eddie Lacy. I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing it wrong. So no Eddie Lacy. Last person we're going to talk about, only quarterback on the list. It's Big Ben. And I understand that some of you are like, oh, you know what I can do? Is I can take Big Ben late. And I'll play him at home. And then I'll take another quarterback. And I'll play him when Big Ben's away. Because I know about the splits. And when they have a bye, I'll drop him and get another quarterback. Okay, how many picks are you wasting on a quarterback? Because you guys have heard me say a million times, and apparently still don't understand, that drafting 2 quarterbacks in a 1 quarterback league is the biggest mistake you can make. And yet, people post their lineups all this time, say, grade me. Listen, if you guys post a lineup with 2 quarterbacks, and you're in a 1 quarterback lead, the only comment I'm going to write is F. From now on. That's a rule we're posting on this channel now. Official rule. If you post a lineup in the comments section that has 2 quarterbacks, and I ask you, is this a 1 quarterback league? And you say yes, it's an F. That is what you deserve. An F. Because it's a waste of a pick. He's a great DFS play. Absolutely phenomenal DFS play when he's at home and he's not super expensive. You stack him with either Antonio Brown or Martavis, and you win some money. But he has to play half of his games away, and he's unstartable for a lot of those games. I went in and looked at what he did just last season, and I know that's anecdotal, but I'm going to show you after his entire career. Last season, home versus away. Home, 20 points, 37 points, 32 points, 28, 17.6, 19, and then it has less because he was injured for some games that he had home. Away games, 25, 7, 9.6, 19, 8, 21, 2, 15. There's a huge difference in those splits. And you're like, okay, Nick, that's a 1 season sample. Like, maybe it's not that bad for his entire career. No, it is. These are his splits. Over his entire career, in split means home, out of split means away. There's a 4 fantasy point difference, home versus away. He scores half a touchdown less passing and almost 20 less passing yards. Like, is that a creature that you want as... That's a quarterback 1. He's going 10th quarterback. 18 points per game, 1.3 passing touchdowns, 240 passing yards. That's not what I want as my starting quarterback. So when I tell you shouldn't be taking 2, now he's practically unstartable for half of his games. You have no idea what you're going to get. And he's probably the most injury-prone quarterback there is. It's a waste of a pick. And so I won't be making it all. And now you also add to that this graph, and it just sums it up. Like, people take Big Ben high, but where does he finish at the end of the year with these injuries and with these terrible splits home and away? 2008, he was 19th. 2009, he was 9th. Then he finished 15th, 13th, 18th, 11th. Finally, a quarterback 1 5th, 21st, 18th. And you're going to take him 10th? Like, I'm not even sure you should be drafting in that range. I mean, if you didn't get an elite guy, you might as well just wait towards the end in the 12th or 13th round, because you're going to get someone perfectly fine. And like I've said time and time again, all you have to do is pick a quarterback in the 11th, 12th, 13th round. Play him for a little bit. You know, if he stinks, just drop him and pick up whoever's hot. But as long as you stream quarterback, and you're at least remotely good at it, on average, you're going to get quarterback 6. Quarterback 6 production. Is Big Ben going to be quarterback 6? Probably not. It is unlikely that he's quarterback 6. Because he's not going to beat Rodgers, Brady, Breeze. Probably not going to beat Wilson. If Luck plays all the games, no way he beats him. Not going to beat Matt Ryan. So why would you not just... Like, why would you not just stream? I don't understand why everyone doesn't just stream. If everyone was streaming, then maybe Rodgers would drop to the 6th round, and then there's value there. But you should be streaming quarterback if you're in this range. Just draft Tyrod. Just draft Dalton, who's got an easy schedule. Draft anyone who's available in the 13th round. And then when week 4 comes and the kid who picked up 3 quarterbacks is 1-3 and he's got bye week players and he realizes, I haven't started my 9th round pick, my 3rd quarterback for some reason that I drafted, and he drops Phillip Rivers because he has a slow start. Well, now you just added Phillip Rivers for free. That's what you do. That's how you win fantasy leagues. Is you don't spend stupid picks on Big Ben and then another backup. You just take someone super late, wait for some idiot that drafted 3 quarterbacks to drop their player, and now you've got a good quarterback. And it only took 1. And you can stream quarterbacks every single year. There's a quarterback that goes undrafted who finishes inside the top 5. You figure him out, you're good to go. Even if you don't figure him out, like just pick up, it was Stafford 2 years ago, was super high towards the end of the year. It was Bortles, it's Cousins, it's Ryan last season. To finish last season, Mariota. Like, there's so many players. I streamed Kaepernick and Simeon last season. Still got quarterback 6 production. It's so easy to stream quarterback. Don't be wasting picks on guys like Big Ben. Okay. I'm done with the rant. I'm done with the video. That was the top 5 players to avoid this fantasy football season. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. 7 videos a week. Next 3 videos are going to be all mock drafts, getting you guys ready for your mock drafts. Hope you did enjoy this one. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. And thanks for watching.